On the title, Education for Human Resource Development in a Technology-Driven Era. So please.
Namaskar again. I don't know where to start because yesterday evening I was asked to make a small brief on the talk. That was through a SMS by Jalaja. Correct? Evening, 4 o'clock. I was waiting in the railway station. Yeah, but I was waiting in the railway station to catch the train. The train was at 4 o'clock. That was the time I got a message. To be very frank, that is the time I looked at the title of the program. Because I thought I have got maybe 100, 200 PPTs on education, multimedia, e-content. So technology driven, the first thing which came to my mind was I should look at the last part I read it very thoroughly. Technology driven era. Then I thought I should talk about e-learning, e-content and all that. Which I was part of UGC, CUC for long years. And I have a book on pedagogies and practices for e-web and net learning published by Discovery Publishers from Delhi. So I wrote a book on that. So I don't mind making a presentation on that. Unfortunately, the HDMI cable is not supported by the PowerPoint processor. Otherwise, I have got a lot of things to show you with my laptop. I could mix from one to another one. I linked many of the things in my presentation also. So I just skipped that and then came only to one which I am going to show you. I suggest all of you to look at one YouTube presentation which is available, which is called 21st Century Education. The demands. It's a wonderful, I don't know how many of you have seen, it's a cartoon-based YouTube presentation in which you will see a building in which a lot of students will walk in, and that's an academic institution, 10th class passed. So the first building is the 10th class education. And then get out, there are possibilities of getting into straight jobs or maybe get into some smaller training programs. The training programs could be like, and I used to, when I watched that, I used to recollect my relatives and then relate to with my relatives. I know most of my relatives in English education after 10th they learned typing shorthand and then went to Calcutta and got a job. Or Bombay and got a job. And they were much happier. So the education was to get a job. Immediately get you a job, right? That's fun. So there is a small box out of a building which says that you can get the skill and get a job. Fun, fantastic. Right? Then there are big buildings coming up, bigger than the smaller building, that's the universities that have education and all that. And you can see the number of people which goes to the smaller building reduces, and large chunk of people will go to the university setup. And the fun is, from the university when they go out, they are all dumped into nowhere. They become neither skilled and they are educated but not useful. And then what they do is some of them get back to this and then go to the smaller building, again become, you have seen after MCA, after BTech, even after PhD, people go for bank coaching center and then get a, right? Because of education is not able to support what they really want in this field. I remember I happened to be one of the committee members to select students in one of the banks. And I have to ask something. I can't ask maths or physics or chemistry. So general knowledge is what I have to ask. I was asked, you should ask only general knowledge. Otherwise, basic arithmetic or something could have been my subject. Okay, then I asked somebody, where is Cape Comorin? Cape Comorin? The MCA candidate gets really upset. She never heard about a Cape Comorin. So don't know. Okay. He goes out, and generally what happens, there are coaching center fellow who coached this fellow for the interview and all that. Yeah, he must be asking him, asking her, what is that question? So kept comment. Anyway, the person who give the coaching center also doesn't know where is kept comment. So he will text, find out in the Google where is kept comment, or maybe send it to the experts and then get kept comment in Kanyakumari. Wonderful. You know the next step? He SMS this information to all his bunch of students. And one of them will be another candidate who is coming for the interview. We know this. Generally, I know this is what is happening outside the interview board. So the next fellow, I will ask where is Cape of Good Hope. Immediately the answer will come Kanyakumari. Got it? Unfortunately, this is what is education today. Less than 20% of the BTECs only get pass mark. On March 6th, then this today, I happened to be the chief guest for a program in one of the, I am not naming the, one of the medical colleges in Kerala. And it so happened, the principal happened to listen to me 10 years back in one of the religious programs. I used to go to temples for giving talks, and then he loves me so much. And he found that I am coming to this today, and he asked all his MBBS students also to attend. It's the first time an MBBS student attending a this today program in medical college. And it so happened that PowerPoint projector was not with the university, the college, and they had a integrated campus in which the projector was in the engineering college. So they went there and then they found that who is giving talk. Naturally, he has to get invited. The principal got my invitation saying that Dr. So he said he's a technical man, yeah, scientist in the Department of Space. His subject is mechanics, fluid mechanics. Okay, so our mechanical engineering students will attend. So we had a heterogeneous group of students in front of me, nearly 1,200 children. I don't know whether I should talk about dentistry or something else on that day, so I made it a very general program. After that program, I found many children come, and I'm a psychotherapist, so many people will come and saying that, you know, I failed in examination, I'm going to commit suicide, what is to be done and all that. So I will tell them how to commit suicide, that's the different part. But then, I found 86% of the students fail in first year. And the percentage of pass after 5 years of MBBS program is less than 90% in the college for the last few years. What are we doing? What are we doing? 8 years. Somebody continued MBBS for 8 years, 9 years. It's not in Kerala alone. In Hyderabad, one of the medical colleges where I was supposed to give a talk on yoga practices, I went there and then somebody who came to receive me to my house to drive me to the medical college, he happens to be a very elderly person. So I asked him which department you are working. He said, no sir, I am a student. I asked him which year. Sir, I just completed 8 years. So MBBS also can be done 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. What are we doing? And we say this is professional program in which many people come out. Look at the output where we have after professional training, what are we doing? I am saying a small college was there where the typist job was there, they were 100% placed. Then we started a big university where professional program is also part of it. It is only less than 2% of the people go for PhD in engineering. We don't have PhDs we have PhDs in engineering colleges, but they all get it for becoming the principal because that's a minimum requirement. What is that you have done in your PhD? What is that you have done after that in that research? Big zero, nothing. They don't even remember what is the title which they have submitted. So there were a lot of programs which we start, but saying that okay, engineering graduates after graduation they go for MBA. Therefore, MBA have got IGNOU also started, I think, right, a program with a BTech and MBA combined programs, and AICT approval was given to that and all. But we have lot of courses coming up. Again, big question. Yesterday somebody asked me, a +2 student, sir, should I go for a BTech or a BTech MBA? I said, don't go for BTech MBA for God's sake, beta. Only go for BTech. After BTech, you realize that I don't know electrical engineering. It is not which I can learn in my life. No, some student comes to me says that, sir, I want to go for MBA after BTech. I said, why? Sir, I don't understand electrical engineering. Okay, fine, very good. Then I'm sure after 2 years you will understand that you don't understand accounts. Therefore, your degree also will become useless. Then what are you going to do? What is that we have to educate our children? Most of the students don't know why they are selecting that field. That's the biggest problem. The biggest problem in education. The reason is none of our primary, lower primary, high school, higher secondary teachers know what's in the world around. Why they are asking me? I keep asking the 12th class children, you have seen your teachers, physics, chemistry, maths, biology, English. I'm not happy when a student comes and asks me, with half-day interaction, they feel that they can get some guidance from me. When I ask, there is a teacher in your school, there are many teachers in your schools where they are interacting with you for the last 2 years. Why are you not taking a suggestion from them? The reason is they don't know. I tell you, it's so pathetic. I have met more than 3 lakhs of teachers so far. I have been part of training centers in Navodaya Vidyalaya Training Center. I think all the Navodaya Vidyalayas, if I go, there will be at least a few teachers who are my students at either in orientation program or in preparation programs. Because I was part of Navodaya Teachers Training Program, Jawahar leadership programs. Most of the teachers, if I would have been coming here today for a program which is conducted by LIC agents training, I do such programs also. Marketing, you know how to do marketing is one of my subjects. In Gokula Park here, I conducted a program. 1,000 LIC agents were sitting in front of me. That day I will at least take 1,000 of my books, Life of Love books or Life Made Simple books in my dicky, and then somebody will pick up and say, sir, we want your books to sell. But I have never seen when I go to any engineering college or teachers' places or students' programs where no teacher will ask, sir, we want to read your book. Because teachers believe that we know. We don't have to know anything new in the life. These are only people who don't sharpen their weapon with their own coolie which they get. Any other profession, people will sharpen their. This is the problem. Why we are talking about a technology-driven era? Why I am saying this? There is a reason I'll tell you. I own school because my village, our school belongs to my family, which my grandfather started. All my relatives who don't get any other job are teachers there. That's one of the best things. I keep saying that is why our education system is bad. We had 33 children who studied together in BSc. And remember one of the worst students, he was telling, I tried politics, I could not survive. I tried becoming a medical representative, no, that needs a lot of effort. Then later I became a maths teacher. Because there is nothing which changes. What you learned in your life in maths is good enough to teach, right? So no. I heard in the academic staff college one teacher who says, I am history, very wonderful, no. Never gets updated. All the history, self-history. Geography teacher was very sad because she says India is very big. I wish India would have been very small. Indian geography would have been small. We have great tradition, big problem. Can you imagine? Imagine. I keep saying, you know, English teacher need. I had a conference here in Ernakulam long back, where in St. Teresa's College, one of the best colleges, English education. I happened to start my teaching as tuition with English. In 1981, I started teaching English. So remember when I came here to teach, Leta happened to be the course coordinator, happened to be one of my students. So she said, sir, you should come. I said, what is the conference? The conference is about English education in the higher academics in Kerala or something was the conference. So there was a London group of people who were saying British English is the best English. There was American people who were saying American English is the best English. And that is the theme which we have. Now what is to be done? I think Indian English is the best. What else I should say? And I remember during the inaugural function, one of the person who used to often visit India, he was introduced as he can speak Hindi. Right? So when the person was supposed to introduce me, I said, only introduce me with one sentence. Dr. Shashi Kumar can speak English. If an English person can take pride saying that he can speak English, why not a Kerala can take pride saying that I can speak English? Yes or no? There is a reason by saying this. There are graduates, postgraduates in English. I remember the same Sacred Hearts College we had, St. Teresa's College, we had students for English communication, communicative English program is there, and English literature is there. One day I put both of them together and asked them, what is the difference? This is in this class, that is another class, that's I don't even understand what is the difference. What is the purpose of education? That is where we have to debate again. Is it for getting jobs? Is it for getting people? I keep saying, I happen to be a management professor in one of the engineering colleges under JNTU for a few years. So I used to have 60 children there. The college was running for last 5 years. 300 children were given MBA. What is the output? None of them got a job with an MBA background. None of them. I took a statistics and found they all got jobs which they could have otherwise got without an MBA also. Then I decided in that batch I must make a difference. So I keep telling my children, always the first sentence which I start, why are you getting educated? The only answer which I have found, I keep asking them, what is your father's, mother's qualification? They say 3rd standard. It's not in the city. 3rd standard, 10th standard. I keep asking them, do you feel pride in saying that my father or mother is a 3rd class dropout or 10th class fail? Or do you feel pride saying that my mother is an MBA fail? That's the difference. So you have got a wisdom. We have got something which we call as part of our life. Saying that I have got a dignity in my life. What is education providing a gender norm? Why India has to have a lot of people? I remember Commonwealth of E-Learning had a conference here on whether humanities have to be taught to engineering students. There are a lot of teachers from engineering background which say that English is not required. They have to learn only to language communication. Why do you need to learn about Shakespeare? Why do you learn about even all up to 10th class we have to learn a lot of people. Like Tunjata will come. We have never met him after that. Engineering student need not know about Mallatol, right? He can do engineering without that also. That was a big argument. Why do you want to learn this? What is that this education is providing? Are we spending more time on this? Unnecessary things. That's the question which I asked. That time we could have spent more time in mathematics. What is the answer? Up to 10th class we have got a general program. I remember earlier we had even up to 12th class. All the subjects. Now we have reduced all that. Now we have got from 7th, when I went to Satna recently in the Madhya Pradesh, I found the students from 7th, 8th class onwards not required. They can study only science. Social science they can do. I was making students to practice for all India service, civil service examination programs, which I am running in Kerala and some other states. In Madhya Pradesh, when I said, the students said, no sir, we don't study social science at all. They don't study social science. They, from 7th, 8th class onwards, they can select only science. What are we doing? This is what I said, the basic education system which we had in India, the basic education system which had in Western country, there is drastic difference. And then what we don't know what is that we want. So we started following something which is given by Britishers and saying that this is what is required. So when we talk about technology-driven era, the technology changed a lot of people in the world. You go to railway station, the ticket booking counter, you will see computerization. You enter in any KSRTC bus or any private bus, he has got an electronic machine which gives you ticket. Only place where still we have not changed probably is the black and white remains the same with a duster in the hand. Banks have changed. Railway station changed. We keep on talking. I am not saying it is not happening elsewhere. I have seen the best schools where everything is computerized. I tell you, everything is computerized. 8:40 was my session. I was asked to be there at 8:40. But I generally go 5 minutes early or 10 minutes early. I went there. I found a nice coffee shop sort of a situation in the entry. And many people are sitting beside and then eating and then chatting and all that. And I also waited there. I have not seen a counter where it is for sale. Otherwise I would also have a coffee or tea. And I found all the teachers will come there 20 minutes early and then have tiffin themselves, because Delhi is very crowded, you don't know when you will reach. So they will take time, reach at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or whatever time they want. But they will wait there up to 8:30, because 8:30 only the door opens to the school. This is the waiting hall before the school. I also waited there. Then 8:30 everybody packs off and then goes. And they all entered. And somebody came to receive me and says that the principal sir is calling me, and he enters with a different door, and then students have got a different place to enter. It's not the same door which the students, teachers and principal enters. And I was taken to the guest place where along with the principal. And as he sat there at exactly 8:40, the printer comes with a print which says how many teachers are on leave. And then he says, my job is only mark, I know the calendar, and the printer one side is how many teachers are on leave, which are the classes which he or she is supposed to engage, and how many teachers are present which doesn't have an engagement in the first. So he has to put only an error mark. No, you don't talk. The PS brings it, he marks it, PS takes it, then the job is done. 8:45 or so my session started. 9:20 I spoke, exactly 9:20. It's a huge hall like a cinema theatre. We have got balcony students also. I spoke exactly the time given to me. And then when we came back, he asked me, sir, how is our school? There is a swimming pool there is a horse riding there, skating, skiing. You imagine every sports item is also part of the school. And he happens to be one of the brigadier, who happened to be one of my junior's friend. That is how I reached there. I happened to be with the row, where my job was to deal with defense personnel. So that's how I got an invitation to that place also. Then I said, your school facilities are fantastic, but teachers are very bad. I said, sir, you have not interacted with the teachers. How do you know? I asked. Before going to this place, when I got the invitation 15 or 17 days back, the first thing what I did was I went to the website, took all the email addresses of teachers, and I sent a mail to all of them asking, give me a suggestion on which topic I have to speak. Unfortunately, no teachers given an answer to me. You may have fantastic digitized, digital, totally but none of your teachers, because then they arranged a teacher training program in which I scolded every one of them. I am sure none of them will call me in any of their schools in the life to come. Everybody changes. A small change in our education system will happen only when the teachers are driven to. I keep saying, to my son also I keep saying, there is a BC and an AD, ABC. Right? The history says there is a BC and an AD. And I happen to be a busy man, and you are an AD man. After digital and before computer, that's my definition. I took birth in BC area, but before computers, right? And he happened to be an after digital man. Therefore, he is a real multimedia student. He is a real multimedia student. He can listen to TV and read. His mother will be scolding. Why are you watching TV when you are reading? Ma, I can do both. The answer also will go, but he will not miss watching the TV. He will not miss reading the book that time also. Yes or no? We keep scolding the younger generation because I won't do that. That's the only reason. Other day I was driving to Alleppey and some bike fellow to overtook, and then we were sitting together and somebody said, why are they driving like that? I said, why am I not able to drive like that? You should ask. Right? If I can also drive, he will not ask that. That's a thrill. We must allow people to drive like that. We keep scolding because we have not shifted. The technology is driving. It's a wonderful word, driven. We are not voluntarily doing it. We have been driven to technology. I think the name will change now. The day before yesterday, there was a program in which, the first page itself, it says, I think a paper which I read, 5G is coming. And we put it in the front page box, colorful. We have not even reached 2 GB or 2.5 GB now. The other day I was in Dubai. All my programs, you have to give a copy to me. All my programs I uploaded to YouTube. I am not taking because he is taking, otherwise I will keep it here and take it. So generally I do. Yeah, she is also taking, but she don't know how to take it. You have to towards audio. And I have seen teachers when they take vertically. And afterwards when you display, it will not fill the whole screen. Okay. He is good. He knows how to take it. We are not teacher. Huh? Yeah? No. Yeah, that's I tell you how many of your teachers know how to operate this LCD. They will ask the attender or somebody else. He is much more educated than us. Correct? So what is to be done is the driven, the drive should not come. The driven is what we are. We always keep talking about we have got a 3G. And it's very, very difficult. We don't have 3G. Do we have? In Dubai, all the YouTube presentations, the last 1 month, again what I am doing is next month I will upload there only. Because you just put upload, it's on. Here we have to wait 7 hours. You know what? If you have to, I download most of the movies there. See, when I go there, what I do is, when I wanted to see one movie download, what I do is, here if you have to then will come. And in between, the closing of the mouth will come after 20 minutes. It's like a batch-based talk. It's pathetic. And we say that we are what? Advanced. What? It's very, 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 very difficult. See, we have to become really technology driven in education, then only the world can change. Otherwise, everything will change, still we will be talking about. That is why our children are not exposed to such situations. After he was asking about Shauba developers, who asked me that? My association with the Shauba developers. After 2009, when I came back to Kerala, after a long gap of my service from Hyderabad, Delhi, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, all these places I was in Department of Space, I decided to quit after 20 years. And then after retirement, I came to an old age home run by Shauba developers. And then there I gave a project program changing the children in the education. One of the schools were the government school program in which the teachers 100% guarantee they will say none of our children will pass in the class. That's a guarantee which they have. So confident, you know. Confidently they will say none of our children will pass 10th class. Great teachers. 328th class children I picked up, started giving classes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. One subject. I started teaching all the subjects. And I picked up 90 of them. The first thing I did was from Malayalam medium, I shifted them to English medium. The parents and teachers kept on asking me, they will not even pass Malayalam medium, why are you shifting them to English medium? It's wonderful. They can say, I failed in English medium, 10th class. The privilege is much higher. Anyway, they are going to fail, no? One good must. This is how I answered. I took them to Goa for a program. That's what the education, part of education. I took them to Goa. PNC Menon is funding, so I have no problem. 66 of them out of 90 are seeing train first time in their life. It's in Kerala. When they joined, I asked them what you want to be. In English parameter. Kal shapil sahan tulka koduna. Auto rickshaw driver, electrician. These are all the expectations in life, much more than. Only one fellow said he wanted to become a policeman. I asked him why. Only his father was caught yesterday evening. So police came to know. So you know that's a very powerful position. I took them to Kochi University. There is a program, Science for Society. One center is the IGNOU center. You ask him, he will tell you. 30 years I taught electronics. I never enjoyed, but now I am enjoying. That's what he says. Volunteers can take them everywhere. They found vice chancellors, bungalow, vice chancellor's office, registrar's room, dean, academics, director, so many controller of accounts. There are a lot of jobs available, there are a lot of information available. I remember last year, Institute of Public Enterprises, I had a paper which is on data informatics. The data cloud, where we have got a computer cloud now. Instead of that, we can have data cloud. I remember when I joined in the department, when we had the first people who started joining. The number of people who continued in the job for 20 years, if you count, out of 100 people, no, 500 people, no, 1,200 people got recruited. Only 2 people trained. That too in the highly prestigious organization called ISRO. Why is it happening? Because there are a lot of service jobs available where the payment is much more than the research-oriented laboratories. So the option for people for job has just improved. I am saying I joined somewhere in 1989 and I left in 2009. So this graph is somewhere in between. That's how I put it. I have seen the change in the people. We had people who joined before 1990, few of them stayed. But after 1995 to 2005, whoever joined, they just left in 3 months or 4 months. Because we take the cream bitters, as soon as they join 3 months or 4 months, they will run. That is why IAST was started. I remember when I wrote the first note on IAST, I was in ISRO headquarters, program planning and project management, when Madhavan and IAS note came saying that we have got few places vacant. Think of using it. When I wrote that saying that we could start an Indian Institute of Space Technology. Because I found that I was in the part of program planning and project management, the group under ISRO headquarters, and I found that many people go. So what is to be done? How to retain them? Give them training where they are directly usable for Department of Space. Very good, huh? You know what are you doing? When you train them, you are making them users for all other jobs. That's the trick. When you train somebody for a very good purpose, very specific purpose, what are we doing? Okay, but doesn't matter because computer programming is a job where anybody can do now. Therefore, there is no problem. This is what we have done. The reason was that. So we see that a lot of opportunities for people and the linkages are possible. We know what is happening around the world because people start talking to each other. Communication is not well. There are a lot of programs, tied up programs. I remember teaching in Usmania University, commerce students, one semester I took one paper where the commerce department had an MCOM information science. Long back, 10 years back. They have got an MCOM with the information sciences. A Indian university tied up with a abroad university, and I was teaching the information sciences for them during that time. So this happens. The knowledge society demands people to have a lot of interaction. Our support, the Planning Commission also had given sufficient input saying that this is what is to be done. Again, my question is whether we have sufficient manpower to do this. Teachers are incredible. So that we have all these words are good. We have got a capacity to generate, to diffuse, but to how many set of people? How many institutions? Why I am saying this? The biggest problem. Our title is Education for Human Resource Development in the Technology-Driven Era. Do we have sufficient teachers to do this? How many? I am not asking how many vacancies are there in the departments. That's a different number. That can be filled up by calling guest lecturers and all that. Do we do that in the railways? If there are no officers available, do you take them on contract basis and put them into... No? Do we do that? Do we do that in the police department? Why in only education we have got guest programs and then say that no, you can do this for a half time and then run away. And you have to pay only for them, you have to make it permanent. I remember Chandrababu Naidu made a statement when he became the e-governance chief minister. He said all the school teachers will get salary only if their students pass. Correct, no? The output has to be evaluated. You work in a production unit, what will happen if the products all are wrong? What is done? The people who are working in that unit will be out. Otherwise, tell them, make it right, otherwise you have no salary. And they will become dedicated. Here there is a system where output is not at all our botheration. This is what happened. So how do we do this? It's all interesting to say that our planning commission make it, no? But does it really happen? Do we have the real spirit put with the mind to make our children great? Yes. If that can be done, what can be done is the less developed countries also can change with the pace in which it has to change. The knowledge-based world, that is the world where we have to change. I remember when Sam Petroda introduced, we have to thank him for the cards which we have. Right? He is the man who is behind all the cards, right? He said, you know that those days there was an advertisement with the bank cards. What do they say? They show a person sitting in a hotel. They will be sitting like this, and he will be sitting like this only all the time. That is because his purse is full of money, and they put it in the back pocket, and they won't sit properly. And that is how the bank card was introduced. You don't have to carry this much money, but you can have bank cards. Now I carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards. This is my purse all the time. Did Sam Petroda made my life easier or difficult? Oh, that was flexible notebooks, but these all cards are not that flexible, right? Why we need 10 cards to, 3 cards to, I have got maybe few bank accounts in different banks, but why do I need different cards? Yes or no? Don't we have to change this? I remember when I was asked to fill up the casual leave application form in my office, there is a form which says name, fine, understand, it's required. And employment code, yes, I wrote AD by 45. And then the next one, basic salary. I remember first time I wrote, my basic salary was much less, but I wrote 35,000 rupees. It went to the admin officer, he was furious. He said, how can you write this? I said, what's wrong? That's wrong. Oh, you know what is it? Then why are you asking me? Don't make me to write any information which you already have in your office. This was the time when we decided. I happened to be the first employee, and we had a lot of, and he happened to be my friend. Admin officer was my friend. We traveled together, we stayed close by, so he was my close friend. That's why I could argue. I said, this right time you have to change. Don't ask information from employees to fill up when you already have that information with you. We have to change. Don't we? Can I write whatever I want? You say that you know, then why are you asking me? No, this is what the change happens. Then we started designing to have our office automation software where you don't have to write everything. When you want, you can print out your casual leave form because that's essential because you need to take certification. We didn't have the internet network where we can have approvals by this. Otherwise, a later part we did that also. You can apply through the computer and it will go to the group director or group division head. He will countersign it, clear it with the password, then it goes to the admin officer and this leave is already recorded. That's it. There is no sanction required, it's only information. Casual leave is casual leave. You don't even have to apply earlier, as per rule. Casual leave is casual leave, right? How do I know tomorrow I am going to be sick, fever and all that? This is what happens most of the people. So what I am saying is, what is required in our life We have to change the industrialized nations, computerized nations. When we say everything what we do have to be questioned, let it become from a card to an office activity where we are doing. We need to change that. That is the knowledge based. It is not in the classroom, it is not in few laboratories. Everywhere we must change this. The power of human capital, I told you earlier, the researchers and engineers per 1,000 workers in each country you can see, and India it is 1.29, 1.49. It is 1.29, 1.2%. So we have not improved in the large style. And there are a lot of have-nots, the population and with the interconnection. We speak a lot of things, but I remember when I was teaching the MBA students, when I asked them you have to read newspapers, and they were all looking at me. I started going to their villages. They found that there are many villages in India where normal local newspaper also will not reach. Forget about English. And I happen to be one of the municipalities. Bongir municipality is from Hyderabad, it's only 40 kilometers away. All the engineering colleges are outskirts. I was working in Bongir municipality area. From Bongir municipality office, the college is only 200 meters. No newspapers, English newspapers doesn't come. There are few Telugu newspapers will come. So what happens? We have not reached the developed world to the developing world. The difference is this. What is the difference in the developing world? I told you I was staying in an old age home, and one of the inmates happened to be an old bark scientist. And few months after that, he had sent me an email saying that my wife is no more. Then I sent a reply. Then I found there is an attachment there. Then I opened it, it's a video. And the video shows his wife went for a walk in the morning and she was hit by a vehicle and the police was lifting her and taking to hospital. The whole thing was videographed by the police people there. And then he has attached that to me, saying that this is how my wife died. That is digital world. You understood what I said? The whole program, whatever happens is also videographed. On the road, if somebody is hitting, the police is coming, taking all that is videographed. Up to that hospital thing is videographed. It's all different videos, but you can put them together. And then create a movie to show that my wife is no more. Okay? The computer, this is what I said, the networking doesn't. This is not in our world, it's in the Western world. Even here it doesn't happen. We have not even moved from 2G to 3G. That is why we have got the mobile recharge options, which says that you have 2G option and 3G option also. Correct? We have got e-payment option and we also have counter payment option. It's funny, yeah? When we drive from Kochi to Trichur, all the places, if I drive, normally I will get 4 love letters from the traffic police saying that you have to pay 300 rupees. And you know, ultimately when you pay that, what he says, keep this receipt. Because they don't record who has paid, who has not paid. We have to show this. It's an e-payment. Okay. And it so happened in Hyderabad also I got such a love letters. And I have to pay this, and shows Telangana. Site is on update. Because when the Hyderabad divided into 2, the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, both of them, RTA also changed. Therefore, they are not updated. So we don't have to pay now. Only after 6 months, we don't know whether we have to pay to both states or one state. This will happen. Because all the countries, we don't know which state we have driven. When it was old Andhra Pradesh, they will ask you because you have driven in Andhra Pradesh. Now the new Telangana also, you have driven in Telangana, right? This is a program. You know that Andhra Pradesh has given concession for all maximum number of engineering colleges in Andhra Pradesh because all the students' fees with less than this much income belongs to this category of people are paid by government directly to the engineering college. When the partition came, they had a problem. If Telangana people study in Andhra people study in Telangana, will they become eligible? Earlier it was one. So you could start from Vijayawada and then come to Hyderabad and study. Correct? Hyderabad student could go to Vijayawada and study. Now they are not native, they are in a different state. See the pathetic situation of a student who is studying in third year and then the college says you have to pay all the money. Chandrababu Naidu and the two chief ministers are fighting on whether the fee is reimbursement. And this is very simple. 90% of the students who are sitting in front of us are all paid by government. They are not bothered about anything. They are not paying from their pocket. Therefore, seriousness is not there. They don't even attend the classes. So when we liberalize education for upliftment of the society, the output is in the classrooms. The teachers are suffering. The education system is suffering because we still have got not merit-based, not quality-based, but based on social. And I have seen engineering colleges where the principal's office, next room there is a office free, no board. Maximum rush there. The village officer is sitting there to stamp. I kept saying, if there is anybody who wants education, now I don't know, it happened 3-4 years back. I kept saying, if there is any 12th class passed student you wanted to have free education in engineering, come to Andhra Pradesh, I will give you admissions. But only thing, I will change your caste and father's name and mother's name. There is a village officer who will just sign blindly. All the application forms come to him. You don't have to give the caste certificate to college. The college will make caste certificate for you. And they will also change your caste. They will give you admission as I am a Nambiyar, I will get admission there. But in the college they will change this for the purpose of getting reimbursement. So the college gets 2 fees. One from me directly, that will not be recorded anywhere, and from the government separate. 100% fees concession colleges I have seen. Do you think we are talking about education here? That's what I am saying. Whereas you must also see, I don't know how many of you have seen what America imports from India. Have you seen? There is a YouTube presentation. That's a program, a TV program, interview happened with a lot of people were interviewed there. Basically, a lot of Andhra students were interviewed there who are all IITians. From Scotland, America imports whiskey, etc., etc., Korea, what they import, Japan, what they import, in India, what they import. IITians. All the best IITians are Gandhians. Because Gandhi once had quit India. All of them after IIT, they quit India and go abroad. Why do IITians are preferred in America? Because they are good entrepreneurs. And our greatest IT technology man was interviewed there. He wanted his son to join IIT with a computer science BTech program. He didn't get admission. Understand that even President of India cannot give one seat in an IIT. Not in IIMs. Not in AIMS. Only merit. That is why there is a demand for IITians. Therefore, we have to create education institutions which have got quality. That will give a lot of demand. What is to be done? You need to look at what the changes which can happen. Okay? Not from all sides. Why I said this? Just to show you this. We have got 2 different centers. We are still running this in this country, we are still running that also. There is a large difference. So the technology when it came, we thought that everybody will have got equal opportunity. But what we have done is we have made people to become. No? And this person has to compete with this person. Either to get a bank job or to get an All India service. Is it not? He is deprived of many things. But what are we going to do this? In this? Okay. We have got the e-learning system and such things which talks about how you have to find out the whole digital scenario which I have shown on the other side. It can be flexible, totally flexible, adaptive, not time bound. You can take examination. That's also running in the same country. We have got MTech programs with IAC, which is running a program in which the whole program is an e-learning program. Assignments, questions. But abroad what happens is you can also have examinations in the site. You can register and if you are good and then write examination tomorrow. If you are qualified, why not? Get a degree next day. That's what is to be done in the flexible system. Here we have got a lot of, this is the structure of CEC. If you want you can look at the CEC website, you will see that. Okay, we have got digital libraries, electronic journals, all that in name. But unfortunately today you have seen morning news, I was reading, Jamia Millia libraries were closed for girls. Right? It's good. Because when one girl goes, 3 boys also will go behind. The library is the best place. I think only boys were allowed, no problem. Or they should have a shift. Only boys have to read this time and girls have to read this time. Because we have got movies also, where it says, right? In which this is the general movie. This what movie represents is what is happening in the society. The library has to change. E-journals. How many people have got access to that? That also have to be seen. Okay. The open programs and academic institutions, industry all have to associate. Happy that there are some industries which are coming with associated programs. So what is to be done? A teacher evaluation to technology enabled education. I am not listing this. These are all part of the activities which we can see. The 21st century education should have lot of opportunities for information technology to be used in every skill activity which they wanted to use. The core subject, the 21st century themes could be different because this keeps changing. Next century it will change. The core themes cannot change. Therefore, the basic education system I was questioning has to continue because everything else will have. We have changed from a specialized programs. Earlier we had got only mathematics, physics, chemistry and all that. Now robotics have come, embedded system has come, now microbiology has come. Microbiology came and then died soon. Because 10 power minus 6 biology is microbiology. Then they found that they have got 10 power minus 9 technology. Nanotechnology. When nanotechnology comes, 10 power minus 6 will wait away. There is 10 power minus 9 available. So as the technology changes, the system of education also will change. This can happen in any of the activities which is happening. Education support, standards, assessments, all these have to go with the time where we are talking about. Innovation should happen. Innovation not only in the learning skill and teaching skill, in the education system also there has to be a lot of changes which is happening. The supply and demand. I told you what is available, what is given. India is not listed anywhere because India has got a different structure of education system where it is not even considered for only for purpose where we are doing it. Okay. The interest in research is declining because now we have got a BTech program. I have got the statistics of what is happening in IITs in India. If you have a BTech, opportunities for employment is great. If you do MTech, it becomes disqualification. Even in Department of Space, we have got a BTech opportunity. In MTech comes, we will disqualify them. Because BTech is what is required. We don't require MTech. So higher education should go only for teaching. That's what we say. And what happens after higher education, if not in MTech, if they go for an MS program? Indian education system doesn't recognize them. AICT says that if you have only MTech with the gate, you will become qualified to become a professor. So you get the MS from the best university, big problem. I remember sitting in the Senate in the Calicut University, it says that life science is there, zoology is there, both are different. Wonderful. And there is a teacher who wants to work in the zoology department with the life science degree, he says equivalent certificate. And if they are equivalent, why are you calling it different? You understood? This is a big problem. A zoology teacher can become a professor in life science, but life science teacher cannot become a professor in zoology. And then he has to come for an equivalent certificate. When the equivalent certificate, remember, Hasnain, who was the vice chancellor, he says, if they are equivalent, why are you doing it in a different class or do it in the same class? Sir, this is for getting a job. For getting a job, anything is equivalent. You understood? Our education system is always like this. These are the policy makers. That's what I am bringing it. The policy makers weaken all these activities what we plan in education with a higher specialization. On such higher specialization, it comes somewhere else. I remember one of the students who was doing a PhD in one of the universities, I am not naming, in which the cinema between 19 to 1970 is done as a project. I said, why up to, yes, it's being done in 2000. Yes, why only 1970? Not up to today. No, that is given as a PhD for somebody else. It has to be divided, right? The same grade is given to 3 people. So 70 to 80 to one student, 80 to... Sure. I have seen after 3 years applications which comes for changing the title of the PhD thesis. Yeah. It's not bad. Unfortunately, I have got a PhD in fluid mechanics. I am sure if I read it now, I will find all what I wrote may be wrong. But then if I submit a thesis with all saying that is wrong, I will get another PhD. My both PhDs are saved. is an education system where once you have given some degree, there is no way of taking it back. Correct or not? Great system we have. China, education system has revolutionized the society because every teachers are supposed to write examination to continue next year. I don't know how many of your teachers will become qualified if they write an examination. Correct or not? When I was teaching mechanical engineering, database management for computer science, or maybe strategic management in my MBA classes, when the examination happens, I will sit in my staff room, answer the question. Or same question paper I will take and then make an answer sheet. By the time the student comes, sir, I finished third question, I am not able to write. I said, read this is the answer sheet. So you have written? Yes, I have written. If I don't write examination for a paper which I have taught in my life, I am unfit to be a teacher. That's a challenge I think every teacher has to take it. That is not happening. Teachers only knows how to teach, how to give answers, but they don't write examinations. This is where the testing has to happen. Why? The skills have to be, and that's innovation. Every class, everything what we do, the problem saving capacity, if the students have to get, you should have it. What do the PhD professor do? If he can solve the problem, he will solve it in publish a paper. If he cannot solve the problem, give it to the student. Correct or not? But professor keep asking, sir, this is very difficult, you help me. Shashi Kumar, if I can solve it, I will publish. I will not even make you as a co-author. But I am not able to solve. That is why I gave you. Do it. My professor was plain enough and he was good. And that is why I am here like this. He trained me for doing problems which are unsolvable in his life. A loud, passionate teacher. But always Saturday, Sunday I used to be in his house. Learn with him. That's what a dynamic professor, I don't call him. A dynamic professor. He will start bombarding if nothing happens. Okay. So, international cooperation, leadership, updating, everything is essential. So, what are the gaps? The skills and capabilities are required. This is what I keep saying. The teachers also should have. So that we can take, the education can be taken to the next era with real human resource development should happen. You should have the capacity to do that. Do a different organizational workspace. Okay, social capital, that the trust more important than the rest of the things what we have. A large agenda for work is what is required at the policy level, the teachers level, students level, everyone. Higher education in India, it's not as what we require to be. There are a lot of good organizations, good education institutions, but it needs a lot of changes to make the life much better. There are a lot of builders by number, but very unfortunate to see that the 300 of the IIT products were interviewed by me in the civil engineering discipline. One simple question was asked. I need to construct a ladder to reach the first floor. From what distance I have to make constructing the step? How many steps are required? He need a paper, he need a pen, he need a logarithm table, sin theta, cos theta. 20 minutes, still he couldn't. Ask a mason, he will tell you how to do that. Because even in BTech we are not. I remember having NIT Hamirpur when I went as a Tech First chief guest. The mechanical engineering department who hosted the called me, the program, young volunteers, bright students, sir, we want a wonderful competition to be conducted. Hamirpur reaching there is very difficult, so one day early I went. So I was there in the early morning of the earlier day, previous day. Yes sir, today evening we want to have a good competition. I said, very good. Bring the motorbike, take it on to stage, remove all the spare parts. 20,000 rupees from my side to one mechanical engineer who can fit it back. Later we called it a mechanic on the roadside and he fitted. We have mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and he's a professor of electrical engineering. So the university or his fan, his switchboard, You must have never opened that thing. I remember telling this as an example, one of the BTech fellow who came with saying that, sir, I know. I said, fine, don't try here, go to your house. And his father called me, sir, I am not going to send my son to you for classes now because he has spoiled the whole main switch. I tell you, BTech engineers, you ask them how many wires go into the main switch. Sir, we have never seen. Okay. Changes, challenges and knowledge. The quality faculty, this is where I stand in the world. Quality faculty, that's most important. If that is not there, if we can't, very, very difficult. Okay. Everything else starts with that. That's why I put that there. Fine. The strength and weaknesses. The shortage of qualified. We have done. I am only summing up what I said so far. The technology-driven integration of e-governance institutions at high-tech universities. That's where I gave examples of my hobbies and what is happening. Because nobody asked this question. I don't know how many of you know that how this bottle came. When the Coca-Cola chief asked how many people consume Coke, then they said only very less people. When they feel thirsty, what do they drink? Water. Then let us sell water. That is how the bottled water concept came. Somebody has to initiate, right? That's most essential. So the innovation should happen. So I remember Sacred Hearts College, professor came and spoke to me. I was telling last year I was there in Sacred Hearts College, 3 days to make innovations among the 11th class children. There is an Inspire program, 11th class children are being taught how to become innovative. So I am a mentor there. So Kannur and Kochi, I spent 3 days with the 11th class children. Innovation is most important. Innovation will come only when you are updated. The updation will come only when you look at what's happening around the world. And who has to guide? It is not scientists who has to guide the 11th class children. It is the teachers who are working there has to change. So I think the technology is available. If the manpower has to be created and there is a real thrust for making a manpower which is really required for the next millennium era, the first step should be make our teachers really fit for the next generation. That means they all have to change from BC to AD. That's it. Because they are talking to AD, they cannot still be in the BC. I can't say that I don't know computers. Right? They have to know computers. They have to start doing it. I remember in Calicut University, when I was there 2 years, I used to come to All India Radio 5 minutes every day before the news or after the news, 7:30 or the time when I used to come 7:30 to 7:35. The program was Cyber Magic. It was a hit program. The program was every day I will take one item and then start introducing what is it. A pen drive? What is a pen drive? And lot of calls used to come, and then many people will say that we have computers in the house, but we never open it, because once we open it, it will become bad. If you don't open it, it becomes obsolete. That's it, right? People are scared. I said, do you operate TV? Yes. It's as good as that. Switch it on. Use it. Sir, it will go bad. Let it go bad. Most of the talk which the time which I spent was to change this technology mania. We have got this, I don't know how many people use mobile phone with all the options not required. Minimum number of options. Do we use it? I don't know how many of you know that there is a WhatsApp program, there is a broadcasting facility. How many of you use this? How do you communicate to your students? WhatsApp can be used, right? You have groups. What is the difficulty in the group? Coaching programs in throughout Kerala. I have got in Kochi, and here just opposite to this ACS school where I come 1.5 months. I have got students there. So we have got coordinator teachers there. So I have to communicate to all the coordinators. But there are some things which I am not supposed to communicate to all the coordinators. I can only communicate to them. What I am communicating to them, they need not know to whom I am communicating. So I have got another group. Maybe I have communicated to all the students. But then the student should not get the number of the other student. In the group, what is the problem? When you add them, all of them will know each other, right? There is a broadcasting facility in which I can have a broadcasting group in which I will send a communication to everybody. but you will not know whether I have communicated to somebody else or not. That's all required in the office matter. It's required. So, broadcasting facility is that. That's there in every phone, but we don't try this. I'm saying a lot of opportunities available. We don't have time. We are much more busy than Modi. Everybody keeps saying, I don't have time. Very busy, right? Today morning also I saw my servant maid in the morning was standing there. You know why? Chai making. Because we don't know that when the chai will, right? Because you don't know how to make chai. If you know how to make chai, you can make chai without even waiting there. Many people will make chai with the milk and then sugar, everything put there. Therefore you have to wait. But if you put only tea powder and sugar, add milk later, you don't have to wait there. Nothing will happen. Very simple, right? Yes, so no. Even the 5-star hotel does the same. They give milk and then decoction separate. Every tea shop along the roadside also does the same. But every person in the house, what they do? They do reverse. Because they never watched. That is what I am saying. Networking, communication is available. Data, I teach in the hotel management classes. That's why you know what is to be done. Cooking also I teach. So what is essential required is open your mind. I told the servant maid, open your mind. But still they don't open. You know why? I told this 10 times to that girl. She will not change because she says, this is how I was taught by my mother. That is why we don't change. Whatever we learned in our childhood, changing is very difficult. Unlearning is very difficult. I think that is what is most essential if you want to change the society for a different world. First, brush up saying that, yeah, this is the time for me to learn. That's most essential. So if you have any questions, if you have no questions, I think the session is useless. But I'm sure if you don't have questions or the time to ask, we don't have time. Time to ask. I remember when Jalja called me to inaugurate the program, I said no. Right? I said no, because I don't go for any inauguration programs. Only if I can get a chance to talk to teachers, I will go, I said. Inauguration is 3 minutes. I have to drive 2 hours to talk for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. I don't do it. I remember when Madhavan Nair got Padma, etc., etc., Delhi, there was a program in which I am supposed to be the introduction. Given introduction was my job. We had got lot of luminaries, like, Delhi it was happening. So we have got TK Nair and Madhavan Nair's brother-in-law who was there as a justice. He was close friend of mine. So I only looped him inside the program. And then we did all the program there. Exactly on that day morning, I said, I am not coming. Because I have got 40 children in a classroom where I can teach mathematics. So I said, that is my first priority. I don't mind going there, skipping the programs. I am not at all interested in formal programs. I am only interested in teaching. It makes some difference to life of some people. So I am so happy when Jalaja said I am basically a teacher. And that's what I wanted to be. We do a big mistake by celebrating a teacher becoming a president. I keep saying it. We should celebrate when a president becomes a teacher. That should have been Teachers' Day, right? Correct or not? Right? We believe that teacher's job is not important, but no. I keep saying Vivekananda is great, but Ramakrishna is much more greater because Ramakrishna made one Vivekananda. But Vivekananda did not make. If he could have made 10 Vivekanandas, world would have been different. So we require good teachers. The world will change. So my ambition is to create 500 IAS officers who are my children. I have got 17 of them in the civil service now. But I found that if I train them from graduation onwards, they don't. They all try because just for try. 7th class onwards, do a rigorous training. That's what I wanted to make a difference in the education system. Yeah.
I hope you are giving us a chance to ask questions.
I hope it is up to them. Yeah, that's
I have a question.
Yeah.
It seems you have a lot of your students doing a very good job.
Yeah.
But then, do you have any good politician from your students?
Oh, I had one minister's son who came to me for IAS preparation. Then after few classes he said, I don't want to be an IAS. I'm sitting in your class because I want to be a politician. He is the youth wing leader for a Yuva program in Hyderabad. He's a Telugu man. I'm sure there are a lot of people. And I happen to have an opportunity to teach in KIDA, Kerala Institute of Technical Institution. So I had MLAs, MPs as my students. But all the small leaders, we don't talk about the great political leaders. I had got Kudumbashree volunteers, leadership programs I taught. That is the first program which I did in Kerala was for the Kudumbashree. When they came, they have to make proposals for programs and all that. I said, how do they make a proposal? They are not educated. So let us have a program. So in Talisheri I had a program where Kudumbashree they are all local politicians. They are all taught how to become. So I have a lot of children, not in the greatest level they have not reached, but I have got a lot of students.
I hope that they will reach a very high position.
We want, that is what, 3 pillars. Politics. But if you ask me whether I am happy or my children are happy, I still keep saying my children are much better than me. In brain they are much better. So this is a generation where we have suffered a lot. Probably that is one of the reasons we are asking this question. And I must have used pencil where up to the end we have to use it because we have got, I happen to be from a family which was very rich, but we didn't have sufficient rice, we didn't have electricity. I studied up to, electricity and telephone came to my village when I was doing my PhD. I am from a very remote village. So I have seen sufferings. We had ration for sugar, right? That was our childhood. And what is our predecessors did? I had 3 brothers and 3 sisters. They produced a lot of children. The competition was more and resources were less. So we had to fight each other to maybe to struggle for life was much more in our generation. Probably the next generation we have to change these quotes. Yes, most of the quotations I have got one book coming, Life Reflections, in which what I am doing is the quotes are being re-looked at in the new state. The familiarity breeds contempt. I keep saying familiarity breeds love. Most of the places the lovers are made because they are working together. That's it, as simple as that.
Your presentation was excellent, and you linked science, technology, philosophy, what was it?
Yeah.
But there is one doubt. No, the reading habit. There is a decrease in reading habit of students. That means due to this technological development.